The championship chase is coming down to the wire in the Can-Am Grand National Cross Country Series. And that's why Charlie Mullins and his rival Josh Strang battled right down to the finish at our last race in Tennessee. Strang could wrap up the title today. Can Mullins stop him?
Playing in the dirt, face full of mud, sacrificing flesh and blood. Playing in the dirt, digging in the ground. Oh, now I'm asking you, where you gonna be when it all goes down, 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 down?
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Racer TV. Jason Wygant, your host. It's time to strap on some knobby tires and go racing in the Can-Am Grand National Cross Country Series. There's Paul Whibley, our defending GNCC champ. Probably going to have to hand over a number one plate soon to Suzuki, who is looking to add one with Josh Strang. Now, all those boys will be racing this afternoon, but right now we have our amateur riders out there on the track here in St. Clairsville, Ohio, the Powerline Park GNCC. And there you see our newly crowned women's champion of the tour, Maria Forsberg. Congratulations to her. And we've got our own girl down in the pits, Krista Shaw, with our title contenders.
All right, Charlie, today will be the determining factor for you in this championship. The titles come down to you and Josh. You have to beat Josh today to keep yourself in contention.
Yeah, I just kind of need to go out and ride the best I can, and, the goal just kind of finish in front of Strang and keep my title hopes alive and, just do the best I can.
Are you feeling any pressure at all?
No, I don't feel any, it's just like any other day, just go out and ride and do the best I can, and, whatever happens, happens. As long as I give it 100%, I'll be happy.
Josh, you can wrap up this championship today. All you have to do is go out there and beat Charlie Mullins. How are you handling that kind of pressure?
It's the same as every other race, so we're going to go out here today and hopefully get a good start and race up front and then be there for the end to win the race and hopefully the championship. And if that doesn't happen today, I still got another race to wrap it up at Ironman, so there's no pressure on me. I've got a good points lead, so I'm just going to go and race my own race and hopefully come out on top today.
Thanks, Krista. That's the backdrop for today's racing. If Strang beats Mullins, Strang will be crowned champion. We've got a couple of guests with us today. We have Toby Price and Jared Bruley coming over from Australia. They are riding with the help of Shane Watts, the 2000 GNCC champion. We'll see how the Aussies do here in the hills of Ohio, the Powerline Park GNCC. We are underway. And looks like our defending champ, Paul Whibley, going to control it on the Ampro Yamaha into turn one. Corey Buttrick right behind him, and that's pretty impressive. Buttrick is busting out the 2011 KTM 350 SXF, and the 350 holding up. He's putting the pressure on, and it looks like Mullins has moved into third, and one of those Australians, Bruley, is right there in fourth. A little bit of dust in the fields. That's not going to be a factor on most of this track. Once we get deeper into the woods, it is going to be muddy. Look at Bruley going after Whibley, and he's gotten around Mullins. There's Jimmy Jarrett in the number 4 who won our race at Unadilla a few weeks ago. And I don't see Josh Strang up there, but Strang has not been getting good starts as of late. But he has still been pulling through at the finish, so I don't think there's much alarm. But here it is, Corey Buttrick leading the way. The rookie won a race earlier this year, the last time we were in Ohio, and he would love to make it 2 here today. Glenn Carney has moved up to 4th. That'll push Mullins to 5th. Mullins needs to get on his horse and go, get away from Strang, and at least gain as many points as he can today and stave off the championship celebration until the next round. Getting a little crazy here in this mud hole section, and you know where the exciting portions of the track are. You just follow the spectators. They have like built-in radar for this stuff. They can always find the crazy terrain. Back to the starting line we go with our XC2 class. This is for 250 bikes. Looks like Jesse Robinson on the KTM 252 stroke is going to grab the whole shot today. The whole shot awards are, of course, brought to you by MotorcycleUSA.com. So nice job by the privateer out of North Carolina. And he'll lead that second wave. Meanwhile, Whibley putting pressure on Buttrick. And they've already pulled away a bit. There's Bruley and Carney, so a pair of Australians there. Then it is Mullins and Jarrett. And we're still waiting on Strang. We saw him come by through that mud hole section pretty far back. There goes Chris Bach on the number 14, and here's Strang. he's got a lot of ground to make up. And the word from the Suzuki people is, since we've come back from our summer break and Josh has been wrestling with a points lead, Thad Duvall goes by there in the 989. The word from Suzuki is that Strang has been a little nervous on the starting line for these races, and that, and a crash, a big crash by Buttrick, who was in pursuit of Whibley, but he got caught on a vine. Bruley up to the number 2 spot, Carney up to 3rd, and Buttrick going to have to sort himself out. Looks like he might have rung his bell on that crash. The good news, though, is that KTM at least has electric start, but you got to get it out of the vines before that's going to do anything for you. And Buttrick gets back going, but man, he's at the tail end of the top 10. So the benefactor here is Strang. He picks up a spot. And there's Buttrick. He's got more problems. They got to straighten out the front end of that bike. Already getting crazy here. Stay tuned. Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am and by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Welcome back to the Powerline Park GNCC. And as we mention every week with our bike shows, we have classes for ATVs as well. We race Saturday on 4 wheels and Sunday on 2. 13 rounds of racing this year and every year. The tour starts in Florida, works its way up north. And then eventually we come racing here in Ohio. We'll wrap it up in Indiana next weekend. So 2011, stay tuned to GNCCRacing.com for the schedule. Bust out your bike or ATV and come race with us. Paul Whibley leading the way over Glenn Carney. And the Australian, Jared Bruley, in his first ever GNCC, is holding up, battling for the podium ahead of Mullins and Jarrett. There goes Barry Hawk on the number 9. And we also saw Mike Lafferty there in the factory Husaberg. Missed Mike the last couple years, been racing enduros. Tell you who else is back. Whibley pulling away now from Carney. Whibley wasn't last year's GNCC champ, but has struggled mightily, switching from the Geico Kawasaki team to the Ampro Yamaha team. Now riding on the YZ 450 motocross bike, and things are looking up for the champ. Things looking up for Strang as well. He has gotten around Hawk and Jarrett and Lafferty, so he's quickly erasing the deficit that he had for himself early with a bad start. And back here, Carney in second, now riding the 300 kit on his 250 Husky, and that little bit of extra power has made a big difference. Carney is one of the smaller riders in the field, so wasn't comfortable riding the full 450. Strang's a big kid. He can wrestle that 450 around. Same thing with Jarrett. He has no problems on that machine. And there is Hawk also staying right with them. And it looks like Hawk is also on the new YZ. So the whole Yamaha team has switched over to the motocross style bike. The only difference being that Mullins is still on an 09 Yamaha. There he is in 3rd. Everyone else on that radically new 2010. And here's Strang, who was started the year actually on his old 2009 Suzuki, then switched to the 2010. They've got the bugs worked out of that bike. And he's trying to close the gap on the leaders. Look at Whibley, the Axeman from New Zealand, just muscling the Yamaha through those ruts. A little bit smoother in pursuit is Carney. And Carney is about to feel some heat from Mullins. As mentioned at the top of the show, the battle today, not only just to win the race, but also possibly the championship. Strang needs to beat Mullins to do that. If Strang can gain 1 point or more on Mullins today, he wraps up the title. So we've got a race within the race. And I guarantee you Paul Whibley could not care less about that. He's sick and tired of hearing about Mullins and Strang. Probably sick of dealing with pressure from Carney as well. He wants his first victory of the year. Here we are in the mud hole. Not only a lot of fans down there, but that's where the teams can put out the pit boards and get the message out to the riders. And the message to Strang is, Mullins is in 3rd and you're in 4th. Got to pick it up, and he does. Look at that, lofting the front end of the F&F Makita Suzuki over the mud, and Barry Hawk just roosted our own cameraman. Time to get some tear-offs and roll-offs for the cameras as well. Jimmy Jarrett going through in the Geico JG Racing Kawasaki. A little bit further back, we've got our XC2 riders. That is Jason Thomas leading the way over Caleb Russell, who goes flying, literally, over the handlebars of that machine, feet off the pegs. Well, that's one way to attempt a pass, but it's not going to pay off. Back up front to Whibley, scaling the big uphills here, with Carney still on his back tire, Mullins in third, and Strang still in fourth. Not too far back, but back to that XC2 battle. There is no love lost between Jason Thomas and the monster Andrews Husky and Russell. They are tussling for that XC2 championship. And same scenario, if Russell wins that class today, he will win the XC2 championship for the second straight year. So it's a must-win for Jason Thomas. Mullins takes a look over his shoulder, trying to keep tabs on Strang, who's taking it very easy to the bottom of this downhill. Well, now you see why. The ruts have gotten deeper, and Strang does not want to throw it away today. He might have, though. Here comes Hawk. Barry Hawk makes the move and gets around Josh Strang. So Hawk doing what he has to do, costing Strang a few more points. And Strang has got to go all the way downstream to find a better line up this hill. Wow, so potential disaster for Strang. Looks like Chris Bach has found the hot line as well. Also Jimmy Jarrett and everyone now going to the left. That hill's bottomed out at the bottom. Wow, Strang has lost a lot of time. Stay tuned. Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am and by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Been a pretty exciting race so far today here in Ohio. Paul Whibley rolling into the Ampro Yamaha pit, taking on fuel, goggles, getting something to drink. But look, Glenn Carney did not stop. So Glenn Carney has taken over the lead. Mullins will move up to second. So pit strategy. Whibley deciding to pit a little early, or should we say that Carney has decided to pit late? Either way, he's hammering through the mud, and Mullins has got him in sight. Mullins, this is essentially a must-win. Oh, Whibley goes down. Same area that we saw Caleb Russell crash spectacularly a lap ago. And Barry Hawk goes down as well. So much like that hill climb, there we saw Claim Strang on the previous lap. These mud sections are bottoming out. They're getting tougher. Wow, nice job by Bach to get through. He'll get around Hawk. But that's what makes GNCC so interesting. Here's Thad Duvall coming from way back in the pack now, challenging for the top 5. We still haven't seen Strang. Finally, our GNCC point leader comes by. What this all is alluding to is the fact that with over 1,000 amateur riders competing throughout the weekend, the track changes so much. These riders will walk the track in the morning or the day before the event, and they think they know exactly what line to take. It changes after the amateur race. They do one lap, a couple hundred amateurs go through that mud section, but the next time they get to it, things are totally different. It's Carney and Mullins right now who have handled it best. They are about to duke it out for the number 1 spot. Whibley, well, his strategy is to just stay close and maybe make a pass when these two riders have to hit the pits the next time around. So the chase is on. Mullins going after Carney, Whibley in third. And you got to remember the old days of Whibley. He would wear people down the stretch and make moves late in the game. Now this year it has been different. He has not been able to put himself in position to do that. As we watch Duvall continue to make up time on Hawk and Bach. And Strang, he knows Duvall is one of the fastest kids in this game, so he might try to hook onto his rear fender and follow him to the front. And there is Russell now back into the lead in XC2. Let's go to our Rocky Mountain Spotlight.
This is Andrew Suter. I'm racing 4-stroke A lights in the GNCC series. This is the Rocky Mountain Spotlight, and this week is the chain roller and chain guide.
Thanks, Andrew. These products are made by Primary Drive. The chain roller retails for $12.99. It's made from durable injection molded plastic and features 2 double-sealed ABEC5 roller bearings for strength and longevity, and comes complete with hardware. Team that with the Primary Drive rear chain guide for $29.99 with 4.5mm thick aluminum side plates which are anodized and heat treated to make them very strong. And the rub blocks are made from high molecular weight polyethylene for long wear, available for most off-road motorcycles. Okay, Suitor, where do you get this stuff?
For more information or purchase, go to RockyMountainATVMC.com.
Well, things have gotten pretty crazy out here this afternoon already. Glenn Carney in the lead, and it's about to get crazier, as you can see. These riders have caught lap traffic. Oh, and we can also see that Whibley has caught Mullins and passed him. Wow, these guys are giving no quarter to Mullins. This is a must-win for the hot rod, but he has gone from second to third. Carney and Whibley mean business today. Whibley closing the gap back up on the leader. There's Mullins on the number 3, back to third, dealing with lap traffic, deep ruts, tree roots, slippery soil. That's what GNCC racing is all about. Get Bach, that tall, long, lanky kid out of Indiana. Nice job through a variety of these muddy sections today. He has had Barry Hawk battling with him all day long, and behind them comes Strang. So Strang is really going to have to hustle. Bad start, made up a lot of ground, crashed in the hill, is going to have to make up ground again. Now into the pits, and we'll see if the strategy pays off for Wibbs. Carney is into the factory Husky section, and there he goes, Paul Whibley into the lead. So hitting early. So far looks good for the Axeman. However, will he have enough fuel to get all the way to the finish? Now Mullins is into the Ampro Yamaha pit. They're at the end of pit row, so he'll go from second and then back to third as the pits cycle through. Here's the RPM Motorsports KTM rider Bach into the pits. And will Hawk pit? No, Hawk goes by. So temporarily that battle is stabilized. Same thing, Strang has gone by Bach. Stay with us. Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am and by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Well, Paul Whibley into the lead, but he's got Glenn Carney right behind him and the white flag right in front of him. So it's going to be a showdown here in the last lap. We'll see how close the third place rider Charlie Mullins is. He's in the hunt as well. So about 11 miles of racing left in a 3-hour event. Mullins is not out of it, and neither is Strang. Nice charge by the number 2. On that last time around, lap 6, he logged the fastest lap time of anyone on the track, so he is not giving up on getting on the podium, challenging Mullins, and maybe locking down the number 1 plate today. As for Whibley, he's probably going to give that number 1 plate up, but he'd like to have a race win to go with it. Look out for Carney, though. Veteran from Australia has come so close so many times to a GNCC overall win. He has never gotten one, though. Mullins has picked it up. He knows Strang is back there. And all 4 of them get through that big mud bog clean. Or should I say without crashing. They all got muddy. But they all kept it upright. Realistically, any of these 4 can win this race. And this is the classic GNCC strategy. You put yourself in position to go all out in the last lap and then shoot it out for the win. Whibley going pretty fast as we get down to the road section and Gus's mud hole. You can see Carney shading a little bit further over to the left, trying to just cut inches off of this track, make up any ground that he can on the leader, Whibley. Mullins in third. Does he hear the footsteps? Does he know that Strang is back there? Here's that big hill climb. It claimed Strang earlier, no problem at all for Whibley. And look at the long route that Carney took. That could be the difference in this race. Whibley took on the steepest hill climb, got to the top, no problem. And another long route for Strang. Now onto the fire roads. Whibley trying to polish this one off. Glenn Carney is still right there. A couple of years ago, Carney led this race until the checkered flag came out. He did not know it was the last lap. He let Barry Hawk by. And then seconds later, he saw the checkered flag and realized he had erred in his strategy. He was saving something for the end. Today, he will save nothing. Carney in second is going to go all out to try to beat Whibley and grab his first ever career GNCC win. But Whibley has been in this position many times. He knows how to stave off the pressure. Wait a minute, that is Strang. That is Strang up to third. He has passed Mullins down the stretch. Huge impact. That pass could allow him to wrap up the title. Carney is going to give it everything he has, but he's running out of room to try to get to. In fact, he's not even going to get Whibley. Here comes Strang looking to take second. Whibley takes the win, his first of the year. Who's going to grab second? Right down to the wire, the two Australians. And it is Carney in second, but Josh Strang's third will wrap up the championship. And that is bigger than any win he's ever had. Congratulations from his father. Congratulations out to these guys. There's the results. Mullins, 4th, Hawk, 5th, Lafferty, Buttrick, Price, Williamson, and Kenny Gilbert ran out the top 10. Let's go to Krista.
All right, Josh, you came out here and did what you needed to do today. You took third place here, passed Charlie on the last lap. How did it go for you?
Oh man, today was probably one of the toughest races I've had since I've been over here in the States. So to get Charlie on the last lap, let alone 20 seconds before the finish line, I mean, it was everything. And I had a tough day today, and I'm exhausted right now. So I'm just stoked. I can't thank FMF, Makita Suzuki enough. Those guys have helped me out for so many years now, and I finally got the job done.
And Caleb Russell wins XC2, and that's enough for him to wrap up the championship in that class as well. He'll be racing the big boys at our finale in Indiana. Time for our race recap. We'll show you how Paul Whibley got it done. It started with the MotorcycleUSA.com pole shot. Not such a good start for Strang. He was way back early. Glenn Carney got around Whibley when Whibley pitted early. Then Whibley got him back when Carney had to pit, and they drag raced all the way around this track right down to the flag. Then Strang got Mullins with just 1 mile to go. He got to Carney but couldn't make the pass for second. He didn't need it. Third was enough to wrap up his first ever GNCC title. Meanwhile, in XC2, Caleb Russell had a chance to wrap up the title. He went down hard, kept charging, got into the lead late in the race, took the class victory, enough to wrap up that championship for the second year in a row. The big story, Josh Strang, your new GNCC champion. For everyone here at Racer TV, congratulations to our new kings.